Welcome. It's time to mess up a painting. This here, what you see, this little snake, I started at a festival late last year, and then it went immediately into storage as I traveled for about almost 5 months. And when I pulled it out with fresh eyes, I looked upon it and I said, this painting sucks. The original concept for this painting was that this snake was sort of eating the center of the cosmos. He was plucking this egg out of a nest. It looked like a nest, but it also looked like a cosmos. Doesn't read. And I missed the mark, and so I'm going to start over. And I thought it would be fun to document that process and show you how I'm going to go from this to starting over. It's nothing earth-shattering. I'm basically going to take some white gesso and destroy what we have here and start over. But I think what's fun is for you to see what it is now and then what it becomes. And it's always in the eye of the beholder. Yeah, a lot of people probably like this the way it is. But it's for me, so I'm going to mess it up, and I'm going to take you along for the ride. Here we go. Okay, it's time to get started. So the first thing I'll do, this is optional. I'm going to take a sanding block with like 120 grit, and I'm just going to lightly go over the whole board to make sure that there's no, I feel a little doodad right there. I'm not going to sand it down to white or anything like that. I just want to knock down any, big paint strokes and things like that. I painted very thin on this, so it's not going to be much work at all, but I'm not going to make you watch me sand, because that's like one of the most boring things I could ask you to do. So I'm going to do that and then come back and then the next step. Okay, I'm done sanding. I'll take a rag, wipe the board down, easy. And now it's time for some gesso. Got some nice golden stuff. You can use whatever you want. I like the big buckets, I can't lie. And cheapo paintbrush. That's right, cheap brush. You see that? That's a cheap brush. Look at that. Look how nice that brush is. This is like 90 cents at the hardware store. And normally I would do this on the ground because it's easier to work with the board flat than trying to work up on the easel like this. But it's going to be fun to watch me destroy this painting, so I'm going to keep it up on the easel. Break into it. Oh, goodness. I'll be right back. This does not look good. I haven't stirred this in quite some time. This is going to take a minute. Okay, the gesso has been stirred and it's dripping. Make sure that you're teed up before you get into this. Take your brush and let's destroy something. This is precarious. I should not be holding this gallon of gesso while I'm trying to work. It's good to have a table, but given the situation, wish me luck. This is how you start over. Say goodbye, little snake. Say goodbye. In this case, I've already done, before I started painting, I did a lot of, I think at least 3 or 4 coats of gesso. So this is just to block out the painting. I'm not trying to do a heavy coat of gesso. It's going to be better to go light with it so that I can easily sand it and not have a bunch of big brush strokes underneath my painting, distracting big goopy lines and things. This is just a light block out. I enjoy when there's a little bit of texture underneath the painting. A lot of this leftover, it's not pure white, a lot of variation. And I kind of enjoy working with a surface like that, so I don't try to get it all perfect in pure white. You can if you'd like. It doesn't make any difference, just a matter of preference. As you can see, I finished the gessoing and I've let it dry sufficiently, and now I want to take my sanding block And I want to go over this one last time very lightly, and I'm going to do another coat of gesso because I want a little more white. There's too much of the old painting showing through, and I feel like that's going to be distracting. It's a little more than just old texture. I can definitely see the painting under there still, so I want to make sure Mr. Snaky Poo is not poking through too much. So again, grab your sanding block, and exciting. As you maybe can tell, I've done another coat of gesso on this board here. The snake is now pretty much obliterated, and it's not pure white. There's still some texture and things showing through, but that's okay with me. So the next phase will be to decide where to take the painting next. And I have some ideas. I have this little sketchbook here, which I started drawing out some ideas at the festival. And the initial idea was sort of this snake eating an earth, and I thought that was pretty cool. And then I had this idea that maybe the snake was eating an egg out of the center of sort of the universe, that the center of the universe was a nest. I don't know what the egg is. The egg is just the nucleus of the universe, of the world, of all being, everything. And so I think I like something more like this idea, but I also like maybe potentially having some branches or some other hint of nature or something in there. And so I'm going to do some more development sketches. I might actually work in Photoshop for a little bit and figure out the color palette. And this feels like kind of a big tricky concept to pull off. It's bold, but I feel like there's a degree of subtlety that it deserves, and I want to try to nail that before I just jump back in and make another big mess out of the canvas, out of the board in this case. So that's what I'm going to do. A little more planning. It's not as much fun. I know planning is boring, but in this case, it's going to get better results. And so we'll cover that phase in the next video. So thanks for watching up until now. This is the reboot phase, and now we start the new painting next soon. So see you in the next video.